than we've
A man
had
who
in
knows
45
about all
years.
of this that Donald Trump is talking about in Tampa, Florida. Joining us now is Christian Adams, former U.S. Department of Justice attorney. He served under both Presidents Bush and Obama. He's now the president of the Public Interest Legal Foundation. Let's go first to this explosion in violent crime in this country. How much of it do you attribute to a president who is anti-law enforcement and who is supporting outrageous organizations like Black Lives Matter?
Well, there's no question, Lou, that the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division has been doing everything it can to throttle policing, to get in the way of good police practices, to advance a racial agenda, stopping people from doing their job, demonizing police officers. Right. So what do you expect to happen after a while? Crime goes up.
Well, let's go to a different kind of crime, and that is voter fraud, electoral fraud, a breakdown in the system. The Pew Research, up to 24 million voter registrations no longer valid or significantly, I love that expression, significantly inaccurate. You have reported widespread voter fraud in Virginia and Pennsylvania. We're getting accounts now from all over the country. What happened to the fools who've been peddling, oh, well, there's not real voter fraud, these are just registration problems, when we see the Justice Department put $30 million behind a registration drive without, we're sure, careful vetting of whether or not those people are naturalized or simply immigrants?
Lou, when I was at the Justice Department in the voting section right after the Obama inauguration, this administration shut down enforcement of the provision of motor voter that requires states to keep clean voter rolls. It was deliberate, it was in your face, it was announced in front of the entire staff. And now look at what's happening. Millions of people are on the rolls, dead people are on the rolls who shouldn't be on the rolls. And, you know, the left says, well, they don't vote. Balderdash, they do vote. We have case after case of bad registrations turning into votes. Wendy Rosen ran for Congress. She was the Democrat nominee in Maryland. And because she was registered in both Maryland and Florida, she voted twice for president in 2012. Nothing happened to her from the United States Department of Justice, even though it's a federal felony, because she's a Democrat.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm supposed to say here, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. More than 14%, according to the Washington Post, of non-citizens are registered to vote in both 2008 and 2010 samples. God knows what it is right now. What is the efficacy? How successful will be Trump's cry out for thousands of poll watchers, observers, to make sure that, as best they can, that this election is straight up?
I'm not optimistic because election integrity, Lou, is a January, February issue, a 365-day-a-year issue. Watching the election is important, but it's only a tiny little thing, and most of those people won't know what to look for. If you've got millions of ineligible voters on the rolls...
So why in the world hasn't the Republican Party, the Republican National Committee, taken steps to do exactly this?
Well, lots of reasons. I'll give you one. There is an
That's all we got
urban
time
myth.
for.
There's an urban myth that the RNC is restrained from doing this because of a consent decree. That consent decree is this big. It relates to election day operations of a very limited nature. There's all sorts of things that could be done that aren't being done. They just don't know how to play in this battlefield like the Democrats do.
Are they going to have a ground game?
Well, you know, I'm not at the RNC, but I can tell you that we're going to have a problem.
Well, I thought you might have peeked in on it. Christian, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Christian Adams.
All right, Lou.
Appreciate it.